Hey there, it's your pal Filthy with you once more for another episode of Sons of the Forest. We're going to go out and do a bit more exploring because if you'll recall from the previous episode, we went out looking for a new place to call home when we start Season 2, and frankly, we weren't successful at all. All the locations we checked out just weren't viable in my opinion, so we're going to head out and check out some new spots. It's going to be a good one. You're going to want to stick around. Okay, we are back. As you can see, things are a little bit different. A couple episodes ago, I talked about the idea of setting up a fireplace here, which is all fine and dandy, but before we head out, I wanted to show you why that is no longer fine and dandy, because as you see here, I built all of this up thinking this was the corner of the base. No, we don't need the lighter, we need the axe. I built it up thinking that here would go down into the base, and hiya! Get that out of the way. It is not. It is outside the base. I need to build the fireplace here. So, all that to say, I'm gonna work on that off camera if I do in fact want to try and build a fireplace here, which means tearing all of that down, which means moving the stairs over and getting rid of the storage here and stuff, but that's very much a future me problem. As I said in the introduction, we're going to be heading out to check out some new some different locations around the map. Oh, no. Pressing the wrong button. We are going to be heading down that way. I want to check out, if you look at the top of the map there's the beach with a river right in the middle of it. I saw a video recently that had shown that basically the cannibals and mutants and stuff are scared of the water, so if you literally set up your base in the water, they kind of, their ability to attack you is severely limited. So we're going to head that way, and then from there we are going to be heading to the west, probably more like southwest, and there's some spots along the coastline that I wanted to check out. I can't really show you on the map because they're just a little bit out of range even when you zoom out, but it'll be worth it, and maybe we find a new location, maybe not, and who knows? We might end up having to settle in a location that I didn't even think of, that wasn't even on my radar, but that's a conversation for a later date. I do want to head out now, and if you look at my mini-map there, I don't know, or Kelvin's not really nearby, so before we go, we are going to go find Senor Kelvin, because he seems to be... I asked him to fill up the drying rack for fish, or with fish, and then he just never came back. So I'm gonna go tell him to follow me, and then once I've got Kelvin back at the base, we'll start heading towards these various locations. I'll see you in a second. So I found Kelvin, and he has made some... Kelvin, what are you doing? Don't... Get away from him. Get away from my friends. What? Switch to buckshot, yeah. I don't like the slugs. I find they're not conducive to the maiming and massacre of the... Why is there so many of these guys? Hello. You go away now. You also go away now. Kelvin, I need you to stop running away from me, pal. I need you to go home. Kelvin? Come on. Okay. Kelvin, please, for the love of God, please stop running. I need you to go back home, pal. Where are you? Kelvin. The map says you're somewhere right here, pal. Where are you? Oh, God. I'm stuck on some tree. There you are. You. Come on, buddy. Oh, you're hiding. I appreciate that, but come on with me, pal, and we'll get you home safely. I'm also going to stock up on some ammo, but I'll do that off camera, because again, the way I do that is pretty grindy, that I sleep, or I find the ammo location, collect everything that's there, and then sleep, and then kind of keep doing it that way, but that's very much a future us concern. We're just going to get Kelvin back to the base here. So we're about ready to head out. I got Kelvin back here safely, but if you recall from the previous episode, we had some cheat codes to make our adventure a little bit safer. So again, if you want the cheats, you enter cheat stick. CHEATSTICK, all one word. And then if you've done it right, if you hit the F1 key, it brings up this menu here. And then for our adventure out, we go with God mode on. And then the other one is speedy run on. And the idea being simply that it just makes it a little bit nicer to be getting oh goodness. That's part of the problem, though, is when you speedy run, you, like, propel yourself off of things pretty regularly. So, again, let's just check the map here quickly. Yeah, so we're going to head down this way towards the beach. You see that I've already got, like, a shelter there or something. So we'll figure that one out. I'm going to do a little test build like I did in the previous episode, and we'll see how viable it is. I'm really hoping that I actually do get attacked, because I would like to genuinely test the viability of stopping at these setting up in these different locations. I know at the beginning of the series, oh dear lord, what is happening? Okay. Oh. As I was saying, I set up on the beach in the beginning of the series, and it may be that that's the spot to go back to. My thought process is always trying to get some natural defense, and if the video I saw is correct, then we can get natural defense by the fact that they are reluctant to attack you once you set up on the, like, in the water here. Okay, so I'm going to turn speedy run off now because we don't want to be zipping around and it makes it hard to focus, really. And I'm just going to go ahead and do, like, a quick build and see, you know, over the building process if anyone attacks, and I'll give you guys an update in just a second. Okay, so update. I'm going to put this spot on the maybe list as well. Like, I'm going to keep building here just because I've only been like, I'm using log hack, so it's easy to get this down pretty quickly, but like, I want to keep trying to build because I want to see if I get attacked, and I want to see if the cannibals actually do have a hard time with the water. It's worth noting, though, actually, I'll keep you around while I work just to go over some stuff. It's worth noting, though, that the stones that you can build with since the update aren't on the beach here. It appears as though that they only really spawn along, like, rivers and lake beds. They are not on the coast, which obviously makes a difference, but I can always build with logs, yes, but I think that it is something to consider in the fact that if I were to build with logs here, or any material here, like, I'm gonna have to set up a system that I'm clearing the trees from around the beach and getting them down here, and that's going to be very time consuming. That's going to be a lot. So that's where I'm saying, like, I want to keep building until I see if I get attacked, to know whether or not the cannibals are actually reluctant to attack me if I'm in the water, because if that's the case, then I think that kind of, or in my opinion anyway, that outweighs the fact that you have to travel to get resources, because once you get the zipline gun, you can create, like, a logging operation up there and just send it right down to your base. Like, that's something that I think it makes it worth considering at the very least. Okay, so we're back, and I got all the floor joists, and no one attacked me, nothing happened, so in theory, this could work, and, like, I realized I made my sample a little bit too big, because I had a thought as I was finishing it up. Oh, there you go. There's someone running along. Let's see if we can't get their attention. Yeah, I had a thought as I was finishing that up that I can't make it that big, because that's part of the problem. It is, I would, in theory, be making a road for them to... Oh, hey, there's stones here. They just weren't that far out. Hey, come on. You know you want to attack me. Come on. Okay, so at least we can prove this theory right, that if you're in the water, the cannibals are reluctant to attack you. So that's good. Like I was saying, though, I made this too big that if I were to fill this in at this point, I would essentially be giving them access to me because I've now covered up the water. So all that to say, I'm going to put this in the maybe pile. I feel like this would be a good spot in terms of what I was saying before about natural defense, but the other aspects of it are certainly daunting. They're certainly challenging. So that's, again, that's on the maybe pile. At this point, we are going to be heading in the direction of the top of the GPS there, which is to the south. And we're going to be working our way around to a series of lakes that I believe will be potentially another good spot to set up. But we'll see. I'm going to head over there, and if anything crazy happens, I'll bring you back in. But otherwise, I will see you once we get there. We're not quite there yet, but I did want to bring you back in just to show off some of this area here. It's, again, this is another probably decent starter area in the sense that, like, you can put yourself right up against the water and put, like, a wall around you. But, you know, this location wasn't really on my radar, but I do think now that I'm seeing it, I'd like to give it a try and again, see how much I get attacked, how easy it is to find some resources and stuff. So give me a minute here while I work on this, and then we will, and then I'll bring you back in, give you my final verdict on this little spot. And before I let you go, though, this is right here along the easternmost coast of the island. Or westernmost coast of the island, excuse me. It's just a little beach. It's probably a little bit hard to get to. Hi, Virginia. Thank you for coming all the way out here. That's very kind of you. Update while I'm working on this here. So far, I have yet to be attacked. It's been a couple hours in-game, probably 5-10 minutes, if that, in real life. I do think that this is, in theory, like, it's a viable spot, and that, like, you can spread out pretty far in either direction and kind of wall it off like a traditional fort. But again, it's another problem in terms of resources that if you're setting up here, so far I've seen 0 animals, 0 cannibals, so that means no bones. I haven't seen any of the stones to be used, and so on and so forth. So it's probably less than ideal, again, in terms of resources, which is a little bit unfortunate. But you know what? That's why we're doing this, as opposed to trying to figure it out when Season 2 starts, so we can get an idea. Oh, Virginia, really? I do like that she came and found me, though. So it's like she... I don't know if she wants to protect me or what her motivation is, kind of deal, but it's nice that she showed up. I do know that if I'm setting up here, then Calvin is probably going to have a very hard time collecting resources, in that he... like, we're far away from anything, so I'd have to basically walk him over to the trees and then say, hey, buddy, collect logs and things like that. There's no fish here. It's pretty barren other than the natural defense that we're looking for. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. I'm just going to finish this wall here to give the cannibals a bit more time to attack, and then once I get through that, or once the cannibals attack, we will make a final decision. But just like basically all of the ones we've explored up to this point, it's a maybe right now. Nothing has really jumped out at me as this is the spot to go. So I didn't quite finish the wall for the main reason that I was trying to build it to these rocks here because I thought that this would provide some natural defense, that phrase that I keep using, and in theory it could if I built it in the right, or if I sent the wall in the right direction. I steered it completely the wrong direction, so I do think that if I am going to be building here, which I don't think, or I'm still on the fence about, but if I do build here, what I think I might do just to make things a bit easier, a bit better, is I might like clear cut this section here because it is relatively flat, and make like my house in this flat area, and then kind of build like a compound on the beach with with a wall in a like 360-degree pattern kind of deal. But in any event, we're going to keep moving along the beach and see if we can't find those spots that I was thinking about. And yeah, we'll just keep this train rolling. So I'm just a little bit further down the beach, and there appears to be a body here with coins and stuff. So that's interesting. Lots of cloth and stuff. So that's something to keep in mind too. That I'm near a spawn point for coins and cloth, which are two things that I've traditionally had a hard time finding. So that certainly adds to the conversation for where to be setting up. Anyway, I'm going to keep moving along the beach. I realized when I checked the map that I'm still ways off from where I need to be. This is like the easternmost, or I keep doing that, the westernmost side of the island, and I'm still trying to head... Oh. Oh, hi. That's also something to keep in mind, that the cannibals are relatively close by. Okay. Stop speeding. Hi. Ah! They're not a fan of the shotgun, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't either. I am killing quite a bit of them. Where's that radio? I saw something very early on in the release of this game that if you have Kelvin near the radio, you can tell him to pick it up and, like, follow you around with music if you really like. So that's kind of cool. It's not really, like, relevant to anything, but it's cool nonetheless. And like I was saying before I head out, this is actually something to consider, too, that there's a literal cannibal base just further down the beach from you. So if you do set up here, you definitely need to make sure that the wall, or that your southern front is defended sooner rather than later. And no, southern front is not a euphemism as much as I'd like it to be. Just moving along the beach here. I keep cutting away like right before things happen. This might be a decent spot to give a try to. It's I mean, the defendability is a little bit rough in the sense that, like, I doubt you're going to be able to build up, so you almost have to build on the beach or on this, like, plateau here, and then that leaves you wide open from behind. And, I mean, we can try and put a wall up to see if that's actually possible, and, I don't know. I think it's worth a try. We'll do a quick build as I've been doing, and then we'll figure it out from there. Okay, there's like a full-on raiding party here. Maybe they don't like that I keep shooting their friends in the friggin' face, but I'm gonna do it to you too, pal. But again, that's something to keep in mind of the different spots I've tried so far this episode. This is the first one that they've gotten like right up in my business. So that's something to consider. Granted, I also attacked their base, as you saw, but I don't know if, like, you actually antagonize them or if it's just a coincidence, but it would not surprise me if I did antagonize them by killing a bunch of their friends. I mean, I'd be pretty upset about that, too. And now mutants have made themselves known, too, so this is probably a pass, because, again, right now I'm playing with God mode on, so I'm at the advantage of not being, like, worried. But if I was just starting out trying to build this would be a serious problem. That there's... Just in 10 minutes, I've been attacked by 2 different factions of baddie. So, that's another one for the maybe pile. What is... That's fingers. Okay, that's definite no thank you. Is it because it's nighttime? Because the last time I got attacked by all this stuff, it was nighttime as well. I don't know. But yes, I think this has been downgraded as much as... Okay. Go away, please, everything. You know, because I'm committed to the bit, because I enjoy the building, I'm going to try and see if I can't get a basic structure up, and then if I get attacked again, then that's my definitive no. But again, we're just experimenting, we're just trying, so forgive my wishy-washiness. I want to try and get all of the, like, trial and error out of the way before Season 2 even starts, because I don't want to be in a position where I start Season 2 and then I set up in a spot that I thought was going to be good, and then next thing you know, I'm being just absolutely manhandled by the various cannibals and mutants and stuff. No, not there. Thank you, though. And so that's why I'm trying this. That's why I'm doing these things, to see if, you know, maybe, just maybe, this isn't the spot for us, but who knows? Like, maybe I end up that's the last time I get attacked for the next 2 hours of gameplay or whatever, right? Like, I don't know for certain, so that's why we're trying. Okay, after working on that for a little bit, I came up with just a quick little shack. Like, it's nothing special. I literally was just trying to get a handle on, like, whether or not I could do it, and yeah, Yeah, I think this could work. Like, obviously, I would put struts in to open up the floor space a little bit more and, like, make, like, a cooking area and stuff. But I think that works. The last thing that I am going to do is, well, first I'm going to kill this guy. He's not a fan of me, but I suspect he will be even less of a fan of a shotgun blast to the face. Were you less of a fan of me or the shotgun? I won't be offended if you say the shotgun. Okay, we are back. It was just a little bit further down from where we were. This is basically, if you look at the map here, this is basically what I was trying to get to. You'll forgive me as I hit the table as I'm talking here. I wanted to see if these spots were viable for setting up. I didn't really think anything of this particular spot when looking at it on the map, and now that we're here, like, it's cool that it's got the rocks that are respawning, so, like, you can definitely build, like, a rock base, so to speak. But, no, I don't think that this would be a spot, because it's pretty open, and I'd be worried about what direction they're going to be coming from. So we're going to keep moving. I'll go to this little lake over this way. And again, the game keeps updating. They keep adding bodies of water, so it's hard to say if this is even going to work the way, or like it'll even look this way by the time Season 2 rolls around. But this is another good... I like how flat it is along here. I like that you would be able to build a pretty decent structure. You'd have the water in the summer months, but other than that, like, I'm not as big a fan of this area as I thought it would be, so we'll keep moving. I do like the presence of rocks. I don't know if it's because it's winter we're not really seeing like animals, but that's something to keep in mind as well, that my food source is pretty limited here. Okay, so this was the spot that I wanted to look at the most, was this peninsula here. And it looks like it turns... is this solid water? Yes. So this peninsula here is what I wanted to try and build on, because, again, like we were saying with the first spot that we stopped at on the beach there at the mouth of that river... The cannibals, the mutants, they don't like water, so if I can set myself up in such a way that, like, my base is kind of at the tip of this peninsula here, we're not going to make any jokes about the peninsula and tips and what have you, but if I can set up here, in theory, I should have water as a natural defense on 3 of the 4 sides, but I don't know how deep this water is. For all I know, they can easily walk through it. So we'll obviously have to come back and do some of these tests when it's not winter time. But as I've done all episode, let me get a very basic structure up, and then we'll kind of go from there. So getting a wall down was pretty easy, which is a nice thing to hear. A nice thing to hear. I don't think that's the right verbiage. Anyway, getting a wall down was relatively easy. I did have one of the muddy guys. I don't know what their actual names are. Like, I just base my names on what other people have said, and I just go from there. I also don't fully understand how the gate mechanic works, because there, and now can I do another one? No. See, like, I don't understand. I guess I just... Maybe it's not a flat enough surface. Anyway, so that worked out pretty well. I did note that this guy, I believe they came from this side. But, oh, see? Yeah, so they are getting across the water, so that's less than ideal. So obviously, if I am setting up here in the wintertime, I'm going to have to make sure that that I am setting up, like, defenses on my northern face, because obviously we can't have them attacking us all willy-nilly and what have you. So it's again, it's another maybe. I wish I had more definitive, this is what we're going to do, but again, as I said earlier in the episode, this is why we're experimenting, this is why we're trying, because when it comes time for Season 2, I don't want to be humming and hawing. Like, I want to hit the ground running with that. When we come back from the break that I'm planning, I want to be hitting the ground running. I want to make sure that everything we're doing is meticulous, because I felt like the series got off to a slow start, and it's been not slow ever since, but like I'm behind, you know. I think about the fact that it took me like 10 episodes to get like the rope gun and stuff like that, so it's less than ideal. I also feel like I'm being attacked a whole bunch. Yeah, so again, that's something to consider. These little buggers are here nonstop. What I'm doing right now is just kind of, I want to clear cut the area within my base just to see like how much space I would have to work with, and all that to say, I believe I'm still on the fence. Between now and the next episode, I will think about all of the different spots that we've looked at today and the previous episode, and I'll kind of come to a consensus. Season 2 is still a ways off, so perhaps something will change between now and then. Maybe I'll find a location I didn't even think about, and then that will be the one. But in any event, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute blast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and like and subscribe and all the fun stuff that YouTubers ask about. It's really appreciated. It helps our content get noticed. It helps make things a little bit easier to spread far and wide and all that stuff. So thank you, and I'll see you around. Bye.